All right. Okay, this is part 2 of what options are there for young people besides being simply bratty and destructive? Because being bratty and destructive, insubordinate, disrespectful, and full of projected hatred is the curriculum for young people. All right. Now, first thing you can do. I haven't read all the Common Core materials, but the Common Core basically makes light, diminishes, and discounts family. The first thing you can do to help bring our nation back under a semblance of civil society is to stop ghosting your parents and grandparents who happen to feel differently about issues than you do. Give them a hearing. Treat them with respect, because their experience is not the same as yours. We're not saying that, but their experience will inform the reasons why, not only the way you feel the way you do, but the way they feel the way they do. Okay. This has to do with biological survival. So get together with your grandparents and have them tell you their story, and don't ghost them anymore. The second thing is, if you're being taught entitlement, insubordination, and hate by the textbook in your schools, because it brings up anger all the time. Brings up anger. This is wrong, that was wrong, this is wrong. Okay. Tell your parents that. Tell your parents, look at my textbook. Look what my textbook says about our society, that we're wicked and we're evil and we're bad. How am I supposed to respond to this? What do you want me to do? Okay. That's something you can do, is question the hatred that is being taught to you in the Common Core curriculum, because that's what it teaches. Indifferent, it preaches at you and talks to you top down about how things ought to work, and how it never worked right and it never worked right. That's hate mongering. Learn to dismiss that. The third thing is get your own house in order. And even at my age, and I'm pushing 80, I still have to get my own house in order. I'm still listening to Jordan Peterson, dealing with conflicts and dealing with problems from reasons and from rationality, and not from just emotions. That's number 3. Put your own house in order. But the fourth thing, and this is the most important, for those of you who are over 18 or 21 or 25, you're moving through your 20s into your 30s. I want you to consider running for public office, because the method of defining and analyzing problems as a method for creating good solutions for people, win-win. Okay, in my university studies, it was called conflict analysis and resolution, and that's what we need in legislatures, and that's what we need in city governance, and that's what we need in county problems, and that's what we need at the party level. We need conflict analysis and resolution to work. And you can find everything you need about it online, because you kids are online, you're stuck online, like I'm stuck online, okay? Run for office, learn how to use the internet in order to create a network of people whose job and focus and mission statement is, we're going to fix the problems And we're going to do that in alignment with human values. And we're going to confront the corporate oligarchy who, by bribery, blackmail, and protection rackets, are victimizing all of us. Okay? So you're going to learn to be suspicious of the legal profession. You will be suspicious of the medical profession and big pharma and FDA. You will be suspicious of Congress, wherein certain representatives have been there for decades and decades and decades and have gotten very rich. Those are the people you need to be suspicious about. The ones who've enriched themselves on the floor of the House of Representatives and enriched themselves on the floor of the Senate. Those are the people that need, frankly, to be confronted. And that's what young people can do to really make a difference. Okay? Get back with your grandparents and learn from their experience. Okay? Look critically at what you're being taught in school. Get your own act together. If you have to use Jordan Peterson to do it, or the church to do it, or your prayers to do it, whatever, and run for office on a ticket of problem solving in accord with human values, not ideology, not Marxist destruction, not partisan politics, but humans communicating together about how we fix this. And I'll be talking more about interactive management and how we can begin to address and fix these problems. Now, something just happened to me, and I wanted to bring it up too. I could tell that my generation is being discounted and dissed and ghosted completely with a couple of recent events. I live in an apartment complex, and it's a quadrangle. And on one occasion, there was a great big heavy woman screaming at her little bitty toddler granddaughter. And I couldn't stand it. So I said to her, look, if you scream at the little kid, that's going to really affect her, how she feels in the world. Please don't do that. And what the woman said to me was, get the fuck out of my business. Okay, so half an hour ago, I was at the local convenience store, and there's a kid there, 5 or 6 years old, screaming and having a fit because he needed to have some candy right then. And his mother was saying no. And so I turned to the boy and I said, you know, honey, the candy does not help you. It makes you stupid. So you don't need it right now. And the mother says, well, I tell him that all the time. And I said, well, good for you. I'm glad you do that. And she said, but mind your own fucking business. The young generations have been taught that elders who intervene and try to assist are bad. We are now the no-goodniks of society, we elders. And I just thought I needed to point that out to you, that it's not just that our own families, extended families, are ghosting us because our political, we're not politically correct enough. But neighbors on the street, the people in church, society in general is being taught that elders who grew up in a time when human values counted are to be discounted and dismissed and told off. I want you to give that some thought. Give that some thought. There is a commandment that says, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long. And there was a time when your elders took care of you, and paid attention to your needs. And the time comes when those elders need to be paid attention to and listened to and regarded with a little respect. But respect is not what is forthcoming from the school textbooks, from the television comedy shows, okay, or even at the church where the elder parishioners sit in the pews in silence and merely gulp down whatever they're being taught and remain silent and never ask a question. It seems to me elders having more than a half a century of experience have an obligation to speak up when human values are in question. But that's just my opinion, okay? And this has been Emily Windsor Craig following up on my first video just a few minutes ago. Bye-bye.